Hello everyone, I'm Mr.X, the hunter in these videos, and I will be narrating the challenge mode runs, just to give you tips and explain what we did to get our gold medals. So this time I'm going to be narrating Scholomance, so let's get going. You may want to run the dungeon once, so that you can get to the professor's room and pick up his vial, so that you can get transformed into the professor. This will allow you to do more damage to the Dark Master, which is the final boss, and his ads, and that'll basically just reduce your time by a little bit. So you might want to do that. Because you completely skip that room in the actual run. So that's why I suggest going to kill the professor once. The buff will last through death, I'm pretty sure. So you can have it for an hour and you'll be fine. So here at the start, it's pretty simple. You pull both ads, you kill them, and then you jump down and attack the boss. This will kill all the ads except the 2 bone guards on each side. We used our hero, Bloodlust, here to kill the boss faster, and the Bloodlust will also be up for the boss that you'll need it, so you might as well use it here. I freeze trap the bone guard that is closer to me, so I can have a little bit more movement space, and also you're going to have to kill that ad for the counter, so I put it there. The damage in the second phase of the fight is avoidable. You can just run around and try and avoid all the flying books and stuff. It's pretty easy. So here in the next room, we're pulling the bone guards with us at the same time, so that we can kill them. And we pull one group at a time, so we killed the Candlestick Mages, the first group, and then after that group is dead, we kill the next one. So for this boss, which is Barov, we assign a DPS to each row when she splits into different clones. So we have, I did the middle row, for example, and communication is very helpful for this fight to direct everyone to DPS the same one so that you can get her out of that phase fairly quickly, as it does a lot of damage. I used an add-on called Barov Helper. It is fantastic. You can see it on the screen right now. On the right side is her model that you're looking for, and on the left side is whatever you're targeting will show up in big. This will make it a lot easier to compare what you're targeting with the actual model you're looking for. So basically, she has a bunch of different looks. One of them has like white hair, one of them the hairband is different with a gem in it. Sometimes she's wearing purple gloves. That's what the add-on is useful for, because you can see her whole body and there's a lot of little changes. In this attempt, I actually found her very quickly, and I called it out in the middle, and I was able to pull her out of that phase very fast. For the most part, that fight is pretty easy. Apparently, you can actually steal Wondrous Rapidity. This is what our Death Knight did, and I guess that helped with the damage a little bit. So for this next room, everyone wants to hide around the corner, and you get one person to run into the room and pull all of them. So we did this with our Shaman because of their rapid movement speed with Ghost Wolf and outside Rocket Boots. And I think he used there's a horn you can get from rare mobs that will aggro everything within a 40-yard range. So that's what they used. And then they ran out of the room around the corner and all the ads came. These guys hurt a lot, so you might have a couple casualties here, but it's not too bad. So after those ads are dead, you run into the room and it's Rattlegore. It's pretty standard, just like the heroic. Don't forget your bone armor, kite it around, and it should be pretty easy. After that fight, your healer should be able to drink. I suggest using Regenerative Amber, as it restores mana way faster. This is a fantastic items for challenge modes. So for this next room, you're going to pull everything. This is one of the harder pulls in the instance, as it does tons of damage. We suggest using as much slows as you can so that your tank can kite and not take damage, so I used my Frost Trap. And what happens is, as the mobs start dying, the damage that they take and deal starts ramping up very quickly due to the Crimson Blood mechanic. After they die, they transfer blood to the next person, which does increase their damage. Eventually, they will have such high stacks that they will just die in one shot. When this happens, your game will actually hit a lag spike and just freeze up for a couple seconds, so don't worry about that, it always happens. And then all the ads will just drop. So for this next attempt, this is where you want to use your hero or your Bloodlust, but not right away. You want to stay stacked, because when she jumps on someone, she will jump on whoever it is, so you want to stay grouped together so you can always DPS her instead of having someone across the room and then she jumps to that person. That's not good. So just DPS her normally, don't use any of your cooldowns, save all of your cooldowns until she reaches 65%, I think that's what it is. You'll see her floating in the air and start going in the middle of the room. This is when you want to pop all your cooldowns. Don't use a DPS potion though. This is imperative that you don't, because if you use your DPS potion, it'll put your invisibility potion on cooldown, and you're going to want to use your invisibility potion for the next room. So don't use your DPS potion, use all your DPS cooldowns, Bloodlust, Heroism, whatever you can, to try and push her to 0 health. This will completely bypass the second phase and save you a lot of time on the clock. She might switch to a second phase with very, very low health, and if you're lucky, your dots might kill her off, and so that will also save time, but it's pretty imperative that you DPS her down as much as possible to skip phase 2. So the next room is where you're going to go invisible. We suggest dismissing all of your pets, as they have big difficulties with invisibility runs and can mess up the invisibility run by pulling something. So dismiss all your pets and use your potion. Here, your potion should last way long enough. You don't even need a speed boost. You can just run all the way through and it's fine. Clicking the gate though does break your invisibility, so do be careful with that. And this is where we get to the last boss. You're going to want to position all of your ranged DPS and healers on the balcony at the top behind the boss. Be careful though, because by going there it does pull the boss. You probably want to wait until your tank pulls. So you may be asking yourself, why do we position ourselves at the top there, behind the boss? Well, the boss spawns these zombies that will explode, and they usually like going after ranged DPS or healers, and by positioning ourselves on the balcony, those zombies have to go all the way up the stairs and around the balcony, and by the time they try to reach us, they usually explode. I think it's around 8 seconds. I also put down a frost trap to slow those zombies, because sometimes when someone gets teleported into a room, those zombies will just phase right through the wall and explode on your healers while they're inside the room, so you don't want that to happen. That's why I put that frost trap there. And when you're at the top of the balcony, you can very easily DPS the boss. So usually this is pretty standard affair to heroic. He's going to teleport someone into a room and you have to kill the ads. If you're a healer, there's little friendly NPCs. If you dispel them, they explode and kill the ads. So that's a good tip. And it's a pretty standard fight, pretty easy, and that's the run. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to watch the full run we did with the TeamSpeak audio and unedited completed run, you can click on it right now. The one we just did is Scholomance. And if you click on the other ones, those ones will take you to the other dungeons I've narrated. Alright, thank you very much for watching, and do take care.